Hello guys, welcome back to my reading vlog. I am Risha and this is For the Love of Classics. So in my last reading vlog, as you guys saw, I was reading Excellent Women by Barbara Pym. Since then I have a good news, I finished reading it. Barbara Pym's Excellent Women, modern classic. It was the first time I was reading anything by Barbara Pym. It was a very slow book. Especially the first half was really slow. In the second half of the book, things started getting interesting. So it's about this 30-year-old lady, Mildred Lathbury, who is single and her father was in church. She's a very good-natured young woman living in London in a shared apartment slash flat. She helps out at the church in her spare time and is leading a really simple life, uncomplicated. People expect her to at least try and get married, but she's basically 30, so now quite old to be eligible or to find eligible men. In the end of the book, it just has an open ending. I think it's open for readers' interpretation whether they think she does find something or not. It's really windy outside. I'm just like so distracted by weather. It was raining and now it's like windy and it was sunny in the morning. Anyways, I've given this book a 3-star rating. I enjoyed it while I read it. I wouldn't say I loved it. I don't think I would recommend it to anyone. It's good if you like simple, cozy books about people and their lives and how they're doing stuff. It was good, but not mind-blowing. The writing was very easy to read. I liked the character. I liked how she thought. I liked a few things about the book which I found really relatable, like she wants to stay in and not go out. Stay and have a cup of tea, just lie in bed, just wash her dishes, just clean her space. Nothing drastic. That's what I found relatable. A person who's just joining the adulting world and really enjoying staying in and enjoying her me time sort of thing. After I finished reading Excellent Women, I started another book. And good news, I finished it yesterday. So I read The Crow Eaters by Bapsi Sidhwa. I would say it's a modern Pakistani classic. I was recommended Bapsi Sidhwa by Nashwa, my amazing YouTube friend. She really enjoys reading books by her. When I was last in Pakistan, I got 2 of her books. So I got An American Brat by Bapsi Sidhwa and The Crow Eaters. This is by Penguin India and it's for sale in just the South Asian countries. They have 2 other books in these editions. Oh wait, 3 other ones. They have The Pakistani Bride, Ice Candy Man, Their Language of Love, and then these 2. So this was the first one I read by Bapsi Sidhwa. I enjoyed it. It was good, but I did not love it. I think I gave it a 3-star on Goodreads. Let me just quickly look. I don't even remember. Why is my internet so slow today, honestly? Or is something wrong with Goodreads? I think something's wrong with Goodreads. So I gave An American Brat 4 stars when I read it. But when I started The Crow Eaters, I really enjoyed it. More so than I enjoyed An American Brat. It was so funny. Like really laugh out loud funny. Bapsi Sidhwa is a Parsi. There's like a community of Parsi people in South Asia. They are fire worshippers and I learned a little bit more about them when I went to Azerbaijan because that's where they basically originated from, the concept of fire worshipping and stuff. And I learned a little bit about the religion there, and then when I came and started The Crow Eaters, I was just learning a little bit more about it. This book is about this guy Faridun. He gets married, so he decides to move to Lahore, which was considered like a very growing and economic city at the time. This is like early 1900s. He goes to Lahore, he takes his wife and his mother-in-law unwillingly with him. And just the relationship between this son-in-law and mother-in-law was like so hilarious. So they moved to Lahore, and it's basically the story of Faridun Jangalwala's life, like how he manages his personal life, how he manages his business, how he grows his business, then he has kids, and then we follow up with the story ends with one of the kids' life, so it's just like a continuation. It was really, really, really funny book. Like, I wasn't expecting it to be funny, and it was just like really comedic. And the only reason I took a star off is because the ending was a bit abrupt, but otherwise I've thoroughly enjoyed the whole book. It was like, as I said, like I was laughing out loud. A lot of like descriptions of Lahore I really enjoyed. So I have visited Lahore a couple of times, more than a couple, and the summers in Lahore were described beautifully, the winters, the old city, like Hira Mandi is like the prostitute hub basically of Lahore at the time. I don't know what's going on there now, but in 1900s, that 1901 or 1905, I think that's the timeline of the book. It was, and it goes up till I think 1940. The story continues the span of a couple of decades. The mother-in-law in the book, so oh my gosh, that woman was so annoying, and she made everybody's life around her miserable, including her son-in-laws, her grandkids, her daughters. I feel like with Bapsi Sidhwa, I'm seeing a common theme here. So in An American Brat, there's a Parsi girl who moves to America. And in this book, a lot of what happened when the British came to South Asia, how these people were trying to impress the Goras, which are the white people. They started speaking English, they started wearing like similar clothing, made sure their children only spoke English, trying to get away from their traditions and customs in order to impress the Goras. Towards the end of the book, they visit England. And when this Jangalwala family visits England, they're like so disappointed in what they see, because the Goras in South Asia were like having lots of servants and just like having a luxurious life, but that's only because of like the help they were getting in India and stuff, not because they were leading similar lives here. They make a friend of this Mr. Allen in India. He was like a British commissioner, but then he gets retired, moves back, and when they visit England, they go and visit his house, and they're just like so disappointed in what they see. They have no help. They do everything on their own, all the house chores. Like there's one washroom in the house, and they've rented the upper part of the house to students, and it's just like their idea of what being Gora meant was like crushed when they actually visit England. And the weather, they're not enjoying it. You can see the impact of colonization in the book and how it affected the mindset as well. So when they're looking for a bride for their son, they just want to make sure she's white, she looks white, and like not white, like she should be fair looking. And you can see a lot of those ideas are still there. Like we still haven't moved on from a lot of those complexes, like the color complex and like speaking English complex and like trying to impress the white people concept. And you see how it all started, and like just in order to make the business going, he needed help from the British. It just explains a lot of things, like a lot of psychology of why people are like that. But apart from all of that, it was a really funny book. Like I don't read comedy. I don't read comedy at all, and this book was like funny. It was true and honest and funny at the same time. Like I couldn't help but laugh at the writing style. It was really good. There were like a few intimate scenes between the character and his wife, and I just enjoyed how it was like wasn't whitewashed. So when usually you see or read intimate scenes in a book, they feel a bit whitewashed. Like it's like the Western society idea of how things are and should be. But when I was reading this, it was like more desi. I really like that. Yeah, and then they like visit New Delhi, Shimla, which is in the north of India, and then come back to Lahore. It was really good. I would highly recommend this book. It was like interesting to understand a lot of traditions of the Parsi people. I see a lot of those traditions being followed by the Indian people. Some of them are still followed in Pakistan, like the concept of evil eye and stuff, which was common in here as well. There's like a community of Muslims, Sikhs, Hindus, and Parsis like living together and merging. Really, really good. Like, highly recommend this book. Now I don't know what to read next. There are a few options which I am considering, but I'll just wait and see what I want to. I don't want to rush and pick a book and then put it down. I still have The Odd Women pending. Like, I've read half of it and I said I'll read the other half. Haven't really. I don't know if I want to. I'm not feeling it. I'm not feeling like reading The Odd Women. I'll just see. I have to put away all the books I took out for filming my video, and then I'm going to cook something. It's the first of Ramadan, so I have to make something for iftar. I did visit some bookshops in London. I visited some bookshops in Cambridge. So I do plan on making those videos as well. So keep an eye out. They'll be coming soon. But for now, let's just go and clean up the mess I made while filming. Hi guys, so I've taken out two books. The first one is Days in the Caucasus by Benin. This is the book which I was recommended by a salesperson in an Azerbaijani shop. Let me just read the blurb from the back. We all know families that are poor but respectable. Mine, in contrast, was extremely rich but not respectable at all. This is the unforgettable memoir of a childhood spent in Azerbaijan in the turbulent early 20th century, caught between East and West, tradition and modernity. Oh gosh, why does that word exist? Benin remembers her luxurious home, her beloved flaxen-haired German governess, and her imperious, swearing, strict Muslim grandmother. She recalls how the Bolsheviks came and how, amid revolution and bloodshed, she fell passionately in love until the chance of escape arrived. By turns gossipy and romantic, wry and moving, Days in the Caucasus is a coming-of-age story and a portrait of a vanished world. And then the other one I just got out is Reclaim Your Heart by Yasmin Mujahid. These are personal insights on breaking free from life's shackles. I just thought maybe I should read it because it's Ramadan and it would be more relevant now because it does quote a lot of things from the Quran. A part of me also wants to go back to Charles Dickens, so I was thinking about reading Dombey and Son maybe. I don't know, I'm so conflicted as to what my next read should be. I'll let you know once I start something. I'm just going to start cooking now because I can't decide what to read next. much. That's too bright. Can I fix this? No. Yes. Oh, better? I think this is okay. Hi guys, welcome back to my reading vlog. It's been, I think, 15 days since I last filmed for a reading vlog, so great stuff. I just wanted to share that I have picked up my next read. So I went on Instagram, as you do when you cannot decide which book to read, and asked you all which book I should read next. And I gave you guys two options. So I gave you Days in the Caucasus by Benin, which is the book which I got after my trip to Azerbaijan, and then Born a Crime by Trevor Noah, which is a non-fiction autobiography on my TBR for ages. And 52% of you wanted me to read Born a Crime, and 48% wanted Days in the Caucasus to be my next read. I asked you all which book to read like 2 years ago. You all said Born a Crime, and I didn't pick that up, and I went with New Grub Street by George Gissing, which was a bad decision because I still haven't finished it. I left it in the middle, but I was like, let's go with what everyone wants me to read, and I started Born a Crime. I would show you guys the book, but I'm using it as a prop for my camera. Let me see. Can we? Okay. Ooh. All right. Is it better? I'll just sit like this. Anyway, so I started Born a Crime. So Trevor Noah was born in South Africa. His mother was black and his father was white, which was weird at the time in South Africa. The book is like divided into 3 parts. I feel like this book is going to have like lots of amazing quotations because I really enjoyed some of the quotes in here, which are like deep but funny. I used to watch his television show and I absolutely love his sense of humor. I think he's like crazy smart. I really enjoy how he comments on things, and there is a reflection of that in his writing as well, obviously. I've highlighted a quote which I would like to share with you all. So his mother was really religious and she would literally go to church every Sunday and take all the kids with her. So Trevor Noah went to church a lot as well, and the way he's describing it is really funny. He says, "The more we went to church and the longer I sat in those pews, the more I learned about how Christianity works. If you're Native American and you pray to the wolves, you're a savage. If you're African and you pray to your ancestors, you're a primitive. But when white people pray to a guy who turns water into wine, well, that's just common sense." I thought that was really funny. I haven't read much, but I'm already like really enjoying it. So the first sentence of the book is actually about apartheid. Oh my gosh, how do I pronounce that? That's how much I investigate or like research before making a video. Apartheid. That's the British pronunciation, and then American is apartheid. I think I'm gonna go with that. The British one just is complicated. So the genius of apartheid, I think I'm saying it wrong again. Anyways, the genius of apartheid was convincing people who were the overwhelming majority to turn on each other. Apart hate is what it was. You separate people into groups and make them hate one another so you can run them all. I literally have no idea about the South African history, so I think I'm going to learn a lot from reading this book. Just got a new highlighter because I knew I was going to use it when reading this particular book. I just filmed a video which I'm going to try and edit now, and a lot of new subscribers on my channel, so thank you everyone for subscribing and welcome to my channel. I haven't been vlogging a lot because my whole schedule has been upside down because of Ramadan, which is how I say it in Urdu. I don't know if you guys know what that means, but basically Ramadan is a month in Islamic calendar where we all fast. So what it means is the Muslims just basically try to avoid doing any sins during this month and try to become closer to God. They meditate and just try to be good humans, basically. We also don't eat or drink from sunrise to sunset, including water, which a lot of people have asked me since I came to the UK. So yes, we don't drink water or any other drinks or any food or smoke. We don't do any of that. And then at sunset, we open our fast. Like at the end of the month, we then have a celebration of Eid, which is a sort of celebration because we all completed this holy month. And that's what I'm doing now. So it's a bit difficult to observe fasting in a country where Ramadan is not, like, I guess not everybody knows about it. So I've always obviously lived in a Muslim country, so Ramadan was a huge thing. We would have like iftar buffet. So iftar is the meal we have at sunset. So we would have like family coming together to like eat iftar together, or we would like send over iftar dinners to friends and family. So it was like a huge thing. And then everyone would pray together because it was like Ramadan. It's a thing. And when I was in Dubai, we had like huge Ramadan shopping deals going on there. In the UK, of course, there Muslims are in a minority, so not a lot of people know about Ramadan. They did have like Happy Ramadan lights in central London, which is the first time happening in the history of the UK. I haven't still been to see the lights, but I hope I can go there before Ramadan ends, and if I do, I will insert the footage in this vlog. I think I'm going to end this vlog here. I'm gonna go read a little, edit my video. So I have a night shift today, so I was free in the morning, but I have to go for work, and I'll have my iftar and my sehri at work. So let's see how that goes. That's pretty much it, and I'll see you all soon then. Bye. Bye.